let's talk about Marvel Rivals, because I want to make it into a YouTube video. Is that wonderful? All right, guys, I'm going to record a YouTube video. This is going to be me describing every character that's out right now and rating them. I'm currently Diamond, which makes me top 22. Can I watch statistics on heroes? Doctor Strange stats. Yeah, I mostly play Doctor Strange. 61 games played, 42 wins. Yes, subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. I'm going to go from the heroes right here. I'm going to describe them from my experience. 68%. Let's make it 69% win rate. Playing them and playing against them. I haven't played Spider-Man, for example, but I think I've played everything else. So I'm going to start with Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner is like Diva. You can remech and demech, and it's kind of funny. It's a tank character for difficulty. It's really hard to play this character. I'll be honest, I think they're kind of bad right now. They're the only dive tank. But the issue with this character is that they have kind of like a Zarya bubble when they go in. They don't do enough damage. Don't do any damage whatsoever. Their abilities are kind of sus in the sense that, for example, Gamma Burst is a range ability. Doesn't do much damage, just damage. And then you have a stun. Could be good, but you can't damage anyone while they're stunned. He synergizes with Iron Man and Doctor Strange. It doesn't make it that good, to be honest. It's kind of L. You know, he has free forms because ult, when you ult with the Hulk and you become Big Hulk, you can actually grab somebody, and there's a lot of immunity frames for this character. So when he's transforming to Hulk, he's immune, and when he's transforming to Giga Hulk, he's also immune. He has a lot of invulnerability frames. Maybe he could work in lower ranks, but so far he's kind of mid. You could leap, and something they don't say is you can actually grab to walls if you hold space again. So that's really cool. But again, this character is kind of not that good compared to other tanks. He doesn't do enough damage because Groot is kind of not that good as well. You kind of die. You can create a low space, but it's just not worth it. Other tanks are just better. So I think this character is like, if I have to give him a tier list, I think I think it's the worst tank by far. I think all other tanks are a better choice than Hulk. Plus he's really hard, so I don't know. Let's say A, B, C, D tier. Thanks so much for the prime, appreciate it. And he's really big, so you get a lot of damage on you. And it's like a Winston, but you can't actually bubble. You can Zarya bubble, but you can't place a bubble for your team. So I don't think Bruce Banner is that good. So that's my opinion. Punisher next. I think it's quite funny. Punisher is actually one of the strongest heroes. Punisher he's really easy to play. He has two weapons, long range and close range. He has a shotgun. If you have good aim, you can two-tap tanks pretty much. It is kind of crazy. He does insane amounts of damage. Like he has consistent amount of damage because Groot makes him into Malga basically, and he blows up everything. He has a grappling hook, which you can just grapple anywhere. You have a little turret like Bastion. You have a grenade that's a smoke, and his passive, you can actually get a little bit of wall hacks, right? You get comboed with the little rat guy. It gives you, I think, infinite ammo and faster firing. It's kind of good because the rat is also good. So it's a good combo. I think he's S tier. Zipline cannot be used by the team. He's easily S tier. There's no bad situation to play this hero because Loot can instantly win you the fight. You can flank, you can do a lot of things, you can kill people, especially if you're getting damage boosted or pocketed. You are a menace, right? You can blow up tanks instantly. He's absolutely insane. He's like a Reaper and a Soldier at once, and he does a lot of damage. Like, if you want to climb super easily, you can climb super easily. You just have to play this character. This is a by far S tier character on DPS. You don't know what to play? Pick Punisher. Punisher is super easy and super, like, good value. So I think this character is really good. It probably works really well with characters that can damage boost. Speaking of damage boost, Storm. Kind of changed my opinion over time on Storm. She has collateral on her left click. Doesn't do much damage. Don't look at this. This is whatever. And she's kind of like a Lucio, right? So her ability allows her to speed boost people, which also, I think, slows enemies if you activate this. I'm not sure. It's kind of, they don't give you enough information about this. So it's kind of like confusing, but I'm pretty sure that if you have your speed boost and they're near you and you press E, it actually slows enemies. If you swap to damage boost, my internet is dying right now, so you gotta cut this off, Mr. Pollard. This character is like Lucio but on DPS, so you could play two supports and this character. They deal damage, and it doesn't really say much, but when you press shift and you press E, it actually activates another effect. So for example, when they're next to you, your teammates get a damage boost and a movement boost, right? But you also damage people with your thunder So if you have thunder mode, which damage boosts, you also shoot lightning, which I didn't know, which deals a lot of damage to people and you don't have to aim at them. Plus you can hit them and you right click. You can actually do a lot of damage up close. And the damage boost can be really good because damage boost is broken in this game, like in any other game. And you can also slow them if you're speed boosting. So this character is secretly a lot better than I thought. And I wouldn't be surprised this character gets played in professional comps because they give you a lot of utility. Plus her ult, you can just insta-kill enemies because this is what it does. You charge it up and then you just land somewhere and the damage is ridiculous, right? It's a really good ult. That's a team wipe, especially if you combo it with your teammates, plus a lot of utility. So it's a really good ult, right? So I think this character is like a B tier. I think it's a sleeper pick. I think it's good in team play, has a lot of value, and I think could be really good. Right now in ranked, nobody plays them because if you're playing alone, it's probably not a good idea to play Storm because you get value from your teammates. But I can see Storm being really played, right? So, you know, around B tier. Loki. Loki's a support, surprisingly, and he has a lot of things happening. He heals and damages with his left click, so you gotta shoot your teammates. I think every support needs to shoot their teammates to heal, basically. His ult is literally just a copy of any person, and you get insta ult. It's like Echo, but the difference is if you die in your copy, you die in real life. Okay, you die in game, right? So it's quite good. You just copy whoever has the biggest ult, the best ult, and you just insta-kill everyone, right? It's a lot of value. But be careful if you have one support and you're unlucky, you don't have any heals if you copy. Because this thing, it's immortality, basically. So you place this, it works as an immortality, and every single copy you have, because he can place copies, also places that. It's actually ridiculous. It's quite good. It is an immortality field that heals you based on the damage you take. So it's really broken and you can have multiple of them. It's absolutely insane. Doppelganger just places a copy. Each copy actually shoots whenever you shoot, and you can exchange positions with the copies, right? Backstab, I didn't even know this was an ability, but you can actually stab enemies from the back. I think so many things I don't even know about. So I guess you do more damage if you melee somebody from the back. Interesting, but I don't think it's very useful. And you can become invisible to conjure an illusion, right? So you can become invisible, you can go invisible. I don't think you should be backstabbing people, but you know, whatever. And you work really well with Hela. I think it's one of the best synergies in the game. The passive basically allows you, whenever Hela gets a kill and you're dead, you get rest instantly, which is really crazy, right? Because Hela is really gives you a lot of damage, right? I think it's kind of hard for me to determine which supports are the best out of you know, everyone. I think the Ice Lady, Luna Snow, is probably better than Loki, but I think all supports are pretty good. I think Mantis maybe on the worst end, but I'm not sure, because I think Loki is good, and I think Raccoon is good, and I think Luna Snow is above everyone else. I think Loki and Raccoon are below, and then Mantis is probably the worst of the supports, but it's kind of hard to determine. I think every support is kind of good. Do I want the tier list? I don't want to actually make a tier list. I just want to talk about the characters. I'm just, you know, rating them as I go. Doctor Strange, I think, is probably the best tank right now. He has a thing which I can show you right now. I've been playing a lot of Strange. That's how I got to Diamond. If I go into practice range right now, he does insane amounts of damage with an animation cancel. And I can get... As you can see, you can do a lot more damage, right, with this character. And it's really good because in just a few seconds, I basically done 1,000 damage. You can farm your roots super fast because the more you shoot, the more you charge your thing that's under your crosshair. And the more you charge it up, the more damage your E does. So what happens is, like, you shoot, you spam their tanks a lot, then you farm it, and then you go in the middle of the team and you explode. You can almost insta-kill squishies, right? And you can farm your roots super fast. You can see I know it's bots, but you can see if you watch my stream, you get your roots super fast like this. And your ult basically stuns everyone. It's like Shatter, but AoE, and it's really good. So you can just fly, and you can stun people. Your shift is a flying thing. You can fly in the air. You have a lot of mobility. I mean, not mobility, but vertical mobility, right? You're not really fast. And something that he also has that is a huge buff is his TP. Is a 3-minute cooldown, pretty sure, and you can reposition it anywhere, any way you want. So basically, when you press F, you can press left click again to reposition it. I think a lot of people don't know it, right? So you can do whatever you want. You can be really creative. I've been pulling people off the map with this. It's really good. So you can do this, and you can set this up And once you have your root, you can drop on the enemy back line and just kill everyone, right? It's a really good play. You can touch point in overtime, and you can just really pop off with this character. I think this character is probably S tier on tanks. I think it's the best tank by far. High damage output because the animation cancel, which basically works with left click and then the right click and then left click again, right? It's absolutely detrimental for you to just stay alive, farm your root, and get some kills. You also have a right click, your shield. I forgot to completely mention it. Your right click is just a shield, like right shield basically. I think this character is crazy good. I think it's the best tank right now, and maybe needs some nerfs. I think it does too much damage. I've had like games where I've had like 30,000 damage, like double my DPS damage, even 40,000. I think Doctor Strange is definitely meta. And your shield can block Doctor Strange ult, can block Groot ult. You can block anything, right? So you can use it, like, you can block any ult basically. So it's really good. You can shoot through the portal as well. Yes, you can be really creative with it. So I think Doctor Strange is S tier for sure. Enemies can use your TP, your teammates can use TP, everyone can use TP, right? Really good. Mantis is the next hero I'm going to talk about. She's a support. She has one skin. Cutie patootie, right? She's kind of simple, right? I don't think she's the most amazing support, but you can play her. You can pocket DPS basically, and you can heal people that are always flanking, right? Because you can just press a button. So her left click is just a normal thing where you just shoot people. You regen your little life orb, and your life orb is what you use to cast abilities, right? So you throw a spore with your shift. This doesn't take life orb, but it's just a sleep dart, right? It doesn't work the same way as a sleep dart, because the sleep dart is, you know, in straight line. Here it has like, it falls down, right? So it's kind of hard to hit. And then your E, you damage boost people, right? So it could be really good on Punisher. He can just insta-kill people. I don't know exact numbers, but I think it's above 50% damage boost. I'm not sure, but it's kind of crazy. I tested in practice range. It's a lot. Natural Anger allows you to get damage boost, which isn't that great, but you can still carry, right? And Healing Flower is just you heal people, right? If you are... So her passive... You receive a movement speed when not injured, and healing over time when you consume a life orb. So whenever you use your abilities, you get healed, right? And her ult is like Trank, basically. It's a Trank. It's a little bit weaker than the other Chungus ult, Luna Snow, and it also provides you with movement speed. So it's kind of good, right? So healing over time and movement speed is kind of good. So, you know, all right character. I think it's the weakest of the Chunguses, of the supports. Yes, this is going on YouTube. But she's okay, right? Next up, we have Rocket Raccoon. I think Rocket Raccoon is really good. They somehow managed to make Mercy Res even more annoying. So he's like Baptiste. YouTube, chat, type 1. You can shoot and you can heal with your right click, and it's really good, right? So you do quite a bit of damage. You can crit. You can, you know, you can wall run. I don't know if it shows it. Yeah, it shows it, right? So if you hold space, you can climb on walls, and then you have a dash. Pretty simple. This is a beacon that gives armor packs, which aren't that useful, but the useful part is that whenever somebody dies, it reses. And you just put it somewhere, it hides. And when somebody dies, they're insta-res. You don't need to do anything. It's kind of broken, right? You can fall off slowly. That's whatever. And his ult is basically old Risa Bongo, right? In terms of, you know, team-up abilities, Groot and him are really good because he can ride Groot. That basically makes him a lot tankier. He gets damage reduction, right? So that's good. And then when he's playing with the Punisher, he can give him attack speed and infinite ammo. So that's really good. His ult is literally a bongo. It has a lot of HP. A lot. It's really hard to kill it mid-fight sometimes, and it gives a big damage boost. So it's really good. I think he's probably A tier. B tier maybe. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. I think playing him could be really good. Hela, next. I like the animations in this game a lot. Hela is a character that can... Pretty much what they do is... There is no Widowmaker in this game, but this is the closest thing to Widowmaker you have. You stay away super far, and you just shoot people, and you can headshot and two-tap people. It's kind of crazy, right? Your shift, you just fly. By def, you just fly away, and your E, you stun enemies, and you pull them together, right? So you just stay away, you spam people, and when somebody gets close, you leave instantly. So it's like grappling hook. Her right click, you charge up a bunch of things and do damage. Hela is just a big damage dealer. She does a lot of damage, right? I think she's a big carry, and she's really good right now, right? Oh, I didn't even know. Like, there's so many things I don't even know about this game. So whenever you kill somebody, they actually explode and you do damage. And you can also flow slowly. A lot of characters can flow slowly. So that's pretty good. And as I said before, right, her passive, if she's playing with a Loki, which Loki's pretty good, is you can rest the Loki, which is really insane. And it happens instantly, and I don't think there is a cooldown on it. And her ult just basically soars her into the air. One good thing about this is that if you actually are dying, you can use this, you heal up to max, and you go first person, and you do insane amounts of damage. And it's AoE, right? So a really good ult. You can counter it with Doctor Strange by flying up and blocking it, but it's a really good ult. You can't use any other abilities. Hela is S tier easily. Hela does so much damage. I feel like you can solo carry games pretty much, right? So Hela is really good. She's hella good, right? So if you want to play this character, you should play. Yeah, and if you kill the ult, she doesn't die. She actually goes back to her original self. I'm not sure if she goes with reduced HP, but she goes back and she can fly away, right? So next up we have Black Panther. It's a really hard character to play. So basically the way you play Black Panther, he's a melee character, but his shift is a dash that does damage, right? And every time you hit an enemy that has a mark, you refresh your shift, like by shifting into them. It consumes the mark, you get bonus health, and you refresh the ability. So the way you get a mark is by pressing E, and your E is another dash that gives a mark. So you press E shift, right? If you don't have your shift, you will die. The cooldown is ridiculously high, over 10 seconds. You go E shift, you do a lot of damage, and you try to get out, right? You get also bonus health. You can wall climb, obviously, and then you have a spear toss, which is AoE. So what you can do is you can press right click, you can shift, you can E, you can shift, you can right click, you can shift, you can E, high skill ceiling character. Does a lot of damage, really hard. If you mess up once, you're dead, but very, very rewarding, right? You do more damage when you're low HP, right? So to be effective, you want to be lower HP, but you don't want to be too low HP because you're going to die, right? So his team up ability is pretty useless with Magik, because it just opens a portal you can TP through. I don't know why they decided that that's a good thing. This is really stupid. It's worthless. And his Q is basically you create a big Black Panther and you attach the mark everywhere. So you can combo even more for your shift, and it could be pretty good. You do damage and you go forward, and it's like another dash. So basically just dash galore. I don't think he's that crazy. I haven't seen much of him, but you can get good value. I think a lot of people are going to grind him and get really good at him, and they're going to carry games. But right now the game is too early, right? Yeah, I think maybe like C, B tier. I don't think he's B tier. I think he's like middle, like A, B, C, C tier probably, right? So he's kind of like Spider-Man. He's also really hard. Groot is really good. Imagine a May, but on tank, right? May on tank is ridiculous. Yeah, I think he has the most HP, has 900. He combos with our boy, little rat guy. His ult is basically a graviton surge. So you combo his ult with a bunch of other stuff like Storm or anything like that. And he always says, I'm Groot, and it's super annoying. And he basically has 3 May walls. His shift, he has 2 of those, and then his E is a giant one. And he actually combos with them because when he's close to his shift, he deals more damage. He deals damage to the enemies. And whenever he's close to his E, he gets bonus health when people take damage. So you just place walls all over you. You do more damage, you heal more, and you're really hard to kill, right? And his right click is like a little bomb that does extra damage, right? So it's just damage, more damage. You can melee, you can left click, and you farm your graph, and then you just stay alive and you stay on point and you contest point forever. Yeah, so whenever you're close to a wall, you actually activate it, right? So it has an extra effect. And this is the thing. And his graph, right? So it's basically a graviton surge. Oh yeah, you can actually place your walls on an angle. I think it shows it off here on suggested combo. So it's actually, you can be really creative with it. So you can place them on an angle and like create little paths and stuff. You can be good. I like this game for one thing. I'm not being paid by them and I haven't signed any NDA. It's just FYI. But I just like that this game has a lot of skill expression, right? It's not simple. You know, there's a lot of easy characters, but if you are good at this game, you can really pop off. Groot, I think it's a really good tank. A tier probably. I don't see why. The only issue with Groot is you can't kill people by yourself. That's why Doctor Strange is really good, because you can kill people by yourself. Groot is really hard to kill people by yourself, but his graph is good. It's good in team play, and you can be creative with him, and you can wall people off and get some kills. Next up, Magik. Magik is by far the most unique character in the game. She's really hard. If I have to say what she's like, if you've played League, she's like kind of like Riven, kind of like Aatrox. You combo with her sword, and it's really unique. So I've played a bit of Magik. I want to one-trick her before I became a stranger. And basically the way it works is your right click is a ranged attack you can charge up. And then your left click is just your, melee. Then you have your, I think it's the shift. And when you have your shift, your abilities change. So your left click becomes a whirlwind, like this. And every time you deal damage, you get HP. So if you're in the middle of the enemy team, you press shift, boom, damage, you get HP. You can press shift again. You can do more damage, or you can summon a little guy that does damage, right? So you can combo a bunch. You can start off with the right click. You can melee. You can go left click. Shift. You can spin around. You can, you can press your shift again, right click. There's a lot of combos. Every time you do damage, you get HP. And her is a dash forward. But a lot of people don't know that if you dash forward, you actually can uppercut people as well. So that's really good. And the animations are good. So you can dash in with your E. You do a lot of damage. You can do shift, left click, right click, whatever, combo your things, get a kill, get out. You have a lot of dashes, right? And your shift is really short range, but you can dodge abilities. Ultimates, anything. If you're really good at this, it's like Tracer Blink, you can dodge abilities, and that's why it's really good, because it keeps you out of the fight for a bit. And the demon does a lot of damage. I think Magik is Russian, if I'm not correct. If I'm correct, maybe, yeah. I don't know Marvel lore much. And her ult, which is really interesting here, is that she becomes demonic. It's kind of like Aatrox. And something they don't say is that, so basically her abilities are enhanced and kind of they do AoE and do way more damage. And I think she gets more health as well. She's really hard to kill. Something that you can do that I've noticed after playing Magik, you can use all of your abilities. You can press your Q. It refreshes your cooldowns. Then you can spam your abilities again. And when it's over, you get your cooldowns again. So you can do some insane plays if you're really good at this character. You can have 6 shifts, 3 dashes, and your cooldown, your shift is going to recharge by the time. It's a really good character, really hard to play. Not much value right now because characters like Hela do a lot of damage from long range. If Magik gets stunned, she just dies instantly, right? A lot of skill ceiling to reach, like it's really high and it's really hard to get into this character. But I think it's a really cool character that I would have played if I wasn't so damn good at Doctor Strange, right? So next up we have Luna Snow, by far the best support. She does a lot of damage with her left click, kind of like Kiriko. You can also heal people, and the healing is a lot. And her shift, basically, I think her shift is like an AoE heal, and it also changes how you shoot. Yeah, so you shoot differently now. It gives you heals, it gives your teammates heals. You shoot your teammates to heal like Anna, and you can headshot with this character. And it's really good, because the healing is insane, the damage is insane. It's the best support in the game by far. And next up, you have your E, which that's just a thing. Oh, it also pierces, right? So your E, actually, what happens with it is that if you put it on the teammate, like Spider-Man, the Spider-Man basically gets healed every time Luna Snow heals her tank. So you can spam heals on the tank, and your Spider-Man is infinitely getting healed. It is actually ridiculous, right? Because your tank is always going to take damage, and your flanker is also gonna get healed all the time. It's like a harmony orb that heals a lot, right? So it's really good. And not only that, she also has a stun. If you land your stun on a flanker, they're dead. The duration is crazy, and it is insanely valuable. She has all of these things. She also gets healing whenever she casts abilities, and whenever she's moving in this just forward, she gets movement speed, right? But not only that, she has transcendence on her ult. On her ult, she has transcendence, and you cannot kill through it. It is impossible. The healing is ridiculous. You can't kill her, you can't kill your teammates. If she ults, you run away. There is no chance you can kill anyone. There's no anti-heal in the game. You can maybe blow it up, and I've also noticed that she doesn't get stunned by anything. At least from my POV on Doctor Strange, she never gets affected by my ult while she's ulting. So it's a really goofy dance, but it's really broken. And it also can give you damage boost. So you can heal Transcendence, and you can also damage boost. It is ridiculous. It's a really OP ult, farms super fast, and if she uses it, it lasts for 11 seconds. It lasts for 12 seconds. It is ridiculously OP. A 12-second rank that also damage boosts is absolutely insane. Like, this character is the best support in the game by far. If you want to play support, play with this character. I think this character is the best by far. By far the best. And she combos with Mexican Aquaman. Namor. But the combo is useless because Namor is garbage. She's really strong. S tier. Next up, we have Iron Man. Don't play Iron Man. He's garbage. Now, I've seen some people play Iron Man. He's really sometimes could be good. He's kind of like Farah, right? Or even Echo. So her left click is just AoE rockets, and then right click is a beam. But it's whatever, damage is whatever. Then his shift allows him to fly, and while you're flying, you can activate rockets. And then when you press E, you become Giga Strong, and then you shoot more with your left click and do more damage and more explosive, and you can shoot rockets again. I don't get this character. I haven't seen them much. I don't see a point of playing these characters especially like Iron Man, because they're always flying. Because characters like Hela and Punisher just kill you. They punish you. So I don't see a point playing flyers when hitscat is so strong in this game. You just die all the time, right? The only saving grace of this character is his ult, and his ult insta-kills. I've noticed that most DPS characters in this game just insta-kill with their ults. You just go fly around, you farm your ult, you do some damage, and then you get kills with your ult. It is ridiculously high damage. You just ult the backline. It's like a little nuke. So his ult is really good, but everything else kind of mid. But maybe I don't get the character. I just think the meta doesn't suit him, and he probably needs some buffs. And his ult is not his ult, his passive team up abilities is with Hulk and Strange. But Hulk is garbage, and Iron Man is garbage. So why would you do this? There's no point. I think you do more damage or something. I've barely seen it, and Hulk should get more HP, but I think it's bugged. I don't think he's a good character. I think Punisher is way better. There's no point playing this character when you should be playing Punisher or Hela. Castrate these people. Stop bullying me for my accent. Iron Man, I think is one of the worst DPS right now. Or if not, it doesn't fit him right now, the meta, right? I don't think you should play him as C tier, bro, F tier, I don't know, garbage tier, right? Spider-Man, bro, okay. Spider-Man is the hardest hero in the game. I think he's the only 5-star character. And if I click on abilities, don't get scared. He has ridiculous amounts of abilities. I've not played Spider-Man, but I've watched a lot of Necros. So his left click, you do a lot of melee. So it's a melee character. And then you swing around, and the swings are actually ridiculously fast. You are crazy fast, right? You're insanely fast. You can be on point in a second. So if your Genji, if your Spider-Man dies, you can just run around and get back instantly. It is insanely, it's the fastest character by far. Second of all, he has E. So E is like a roadhog hook, and you can pull people off the map. You can pull people in. It's really good. Like, you can get people in. I think it's a really good ability. But it's kind of hard to land, right? So it's good. You can just pull people in, get some kills. And then next up, we have the amazing combo. Okay, so there's this thing with Spider Tracer. I'm sorry, it's just so hard to fucking get this thing through. I'm trying to figure out what the Spider Tracer is. Everything does more damage with a Spider Tracer, but where does the Spider Tracer come? Okay, so exactly, okay. So whenever he uses his right click, it's his range. He attaches a Spider Tracer, and his abilities do more damage if there is a Spider Tracer. If you have a Spider Tracer on somebody and you shoot your web, you reel in the enemy, but if you have a Spider Tracer, you get pulled to them, and his combo does more damage when there's a Spider Tracer attached, right? His space, you can perform a double jump, and then you can grapple around, and then you can double jump, and you be really fast, right? And then obviously his right click is his range that can do a Spider Tracer, so you can do a lot of combos with this, right? So you can Spider Tracer your web cluster, then you can, you know, amazing combo, you can pull them in, you can right click. It's crazy stuff can happen, right? It's way too complicated when you can just play Hela and just like headshot people, right? And then for a passive, you get spider senses when there's an enemy nearby. Obviously, I think it's bugged for Necros because he definitely doesn't notice anything. And then he can wall climb. It would be funny if he couldn't, right? And you can run on walls as well. So his ult is like Reaper ult, but actually good. And I think if you have your ult, you just win the fight. Like straight up, you just win the fight 100%. You just swing in, you ult the backline, you kill the entire backline. It does a lot of damage. It stuns everyone. A little bit of follow-up, you just kill everything. It is absolutely ridiculously strong, and you can just play to farm his ult and then insta-kill everyone. It's like Reaper ult, but actually good for the game, right? Actually good. It's a free team wipe. I've seen Necros wipe the entire team basically every time you use it, right? I just wanted to point out that it's really funny for his suggested combo. It literally says use web swing to flank, then shoot a web cluster to deal damage and attach a spider tracer to the hit enemy. Close in with get over here, follow up with an amazing combo to detonate the spider tracer and unleash a spectacular spin to stun and decimate all enemies, bro. This is horrible. I had no idea what any of this is. What does it say? What is the point of this? They just spammed everything into it. It's very detailed, but it's useless for the average player. I think for this character, this character is really hard, but it's really fun. And if you want to actually get really good value on this character, you need to learn them, but you won't be consistent on them. It's going to take a long time before Spider-Man players become consistently really good at this character. Because characters like Hela can just dink you across the map, and their ults are super strong as well. So I think right now it's probably C tier, maybe B tier if you have a good Spider-Man player, but overall, I don't think you should be playing this character outside of playing them for fun. If you genuinely want to climb, right? Comparable difficult to watch character? Genji, right? No, I think Genji is way easier than Spider-Man. Next up, Magneto. Magneto is kind of like Sigma. He floats and he shoots left click. And his left click literally explodes like Sigma. The only difference is that he doesn't, it doesn't go around the map, right? It doesn't ricochet. It does a lot of damage. His shift is a shield that blocks damage, is infinite damage. You can block anything. Like you block all damage, right? So unlike Strange, where Strange can, keep putting it out and dropping it, Magneto can't. And unlike Strange, Magneto's shield doesn't have health pool. It's infinite. Next up, we have Metal Bulwark. So Magneto has the Sting, these three charges, high salt. And when it's fully charged, whenever he has his Sting, it's fully charged, his rings, he actually boops people away and does more damage with his right click, right? And whenever he uses his shield on the teammate, it actually blocks damage and blocks everything, right? It's actually a really good shield. You can bubble a Spider-Man, and it's really strong. And it gives you charge for your right click. So you can right click, and then you can bubble your Spider-Man, and then you can right click again because it's a lot of damage. It's literally like a Zarya bubble. So it's really good. You can save teammates. I've played against Guru, and he's really good in this hero, and I didn't know, but you can literally block anything with this. I think there is no damage limit, right? It breaks after a while, but you can block nukes, you can block anything, right? So it's really good. If you can time it correctly, you can save a lot of teammates. And also Magneto does a lot of damage. At first, I thought Magneto is one of the best tanks, but I think Strange is just much better. His passive is you just fall down slowly. And his ult, basically go into the air and you eat up all projectiles. And the more projectiles you eat, the more damage your ult is going to do. Then you just slam a big rock on top of somebody and they die instantly. So if Punisher uses ult, or somebody else uses ult that does a lot of damage and just shoots a lot, you just use this and you block all projectiles. Now, right there, he didn't do a lot of damage, but that's because he didn't take a lot of damage. If you take up a lot of damage, you insta-kill basically anyone. I think it doesn't insta-kill tanks, but squishies, 100%. And in the middle of a fight, when things are happening, you just eat up stuff and you just throw it out. It's really good, right? So, and for his C, so that's his other team-up ability, it's actually quite good. If you have a Scarlet Witch, your melee becomes ranged and piercing and does a lot of damage. It's actually really good. I think this is one of the better ones. I don't think Scarlet is that OP. It works really well with Scarlet. It does a lot of damage, and melee goes through shields in this game. So if somebody's shielding, you try to melee them. Metallic Fusion, this ability just allows you to kill people through it, right? I think Magneto is really good. I think he's A tier. I think most tanks are A tier. I think Hulk is just bad. I think Magneto is A tier. I think Doctor Strange is S tier. I think Groot is A tier. I think it's good. You can play Magneto. I think it's a good character. I don't think it's the best, but I think it's really good. Yeah, that's my opinion about Magneto. Next up, we have Scarlet Witch. So if you thought Moira was annoying, what about Moira with range, more damage, and 2 fades? Because that's what Scarlet Witch is. She's super easy to play. She has 2 fades. She can float in the air. So once you fade out, you can stay in the air and you can beam people from the air. You can fade twice. So that's really annoying. Whenever you press the shift, You can have free movement anywhere, and it's way slower than Morphin. Next up, we have Dark CO, which is literally a stun. It's super annoying if you use it on a choke. You can detonate it yourself, and if you use it correctly, you can stun people like 3 times in a row. It's super obnoxious. And next up, we have, I think this just flows slowly. I think most characters have this. And she also has range that also is AoE, right? So basically, she charges up her ranged attacks by holding left. So by sucking people off, she charges up the Chungus ability on her right click, which allows you to do a lot of damage from long range. So you can poke people and then you can finish them off with your suck. It's really good. Again, we've seen the passive. You know, you work really well with Magneto and you can do a lot of damage. Like you can just poke people. It's really good against characters like Spider-Man that are really hard to hit because you don't have to hit them. You just suck. And her ult is insane. Her ult is literally a diva bomb. It can be blocked. It can be bubbled. You can run away. But the one funny thing is that cover most of the time doesn't work unless it's not destructible. If it's destructible cover, you will die through it. It's really loud, it's really crazy, and it's an insta-kill all the time. You die instantly. You can also kill her while she's charging, right? But if you're smart with it and you use it correctly and you get bubbled or something, you can nuke the entire enemy team. I've seen people get 5 kills, quadra kills easily. So it's more with a diva bomb. I don't think it's the best character in the game, but I think it's an easy character to climb with, so it's easily B tier, right? I don't think it's the worst. I don't think it's the best. I think she's super easy, and she can get a lot of value, and it's fun. I think it's fun. Next up, we have Peni Parker. Peni Parker is a character from Spider-Man, and she has mecha, and she does not play like diva, surprisingly. She has nothing to do with diva. She's just in a mecha. So basically, her left click is just shooting, and then the way you play it, it's a really annoying character that just places mines around, and you can insta-kill people with mines. I've seen people place mines in the spawn room of the enemy team and get triple because people just walk out, right? Her shift is just you place a little drone, a spider nest that places mines, right? And each mine by itself doesn't do a lot of damage, but once you stack it up, it does a lot of damage, right? Next up, you have your mines, obviously, so you can stack up mines by yourself and the spider nest. And I think whenever they're in the cyber web, you can't even see the mine, so it's really good. So make sure to always break the spider nest. Her F allows her to maneuver around the map. You can also tie yourself to that spot so you don't get booped off. I haven't seen people get booped off really. And you can also stun people. Oh no, her right click is her stun. I'm sorry. So her F is just you move around and her right click is her stun. I lied to you. My bad. So this is her F. Come on, play it.
You know what to do, spiders?
Yeah, okay. So her F, you just go in, right? You link to that place, and you know, if it's too far, you pull back. Whatever. Next up, you know, we have just wall crawl. You just wall climb. A lot of passives are just wall climbs, or you know, you float a bit. And her right click is a stun, and the stun is really good because you can kill people quite consistently. In general, Peni Parker is a really annoying character. I think I've seen a lot of good Peni Parkers just place their things. It's a 3-second stun, so it's really good. So Peni Parker is super annoying. I think it's really hard to play her. I think she's better than Hulk. I think she's worse than the other tanks. I think she's like B tier. But you just place webs everywhere. You place mines everywhere. You can place it in a corner. If somebody comes out, they insta-die. It's a really annoying character if you can play them correctly. And her ult is really good because you become really strong. Like, it's really hard to kill you while you're doing this. And you knock back everyone. Like, you knock them up back with your left click. And you can also just spam mines everywhere. And they're invisible because you also put webs. So, I think it's a really good ult. It's not going to let you kill anyone. But it creates a lot of space. Combined with everything else, it's a super annoying character to deal against, like to play against, right? I don't think having this character in your team is bad, but it's really hard to deal against them in the sense that they're really tanky and they're super annoying. And you need to kill their mines, you need to kill their chungus. So it's a hard character to play. You can get value for them for sure. Maybe they need a little bit of buffs because they're really cheesy. But I don't mind cheesy characters. I think cheesy characters are funny. And suggested combos is whatever. So she doesn't have any team up abilities, right? So she's a goofy little guy. I think she's like B tier, but she's better than Hulk for sure. I think Hulk is like C tier by far. So Peni Parker is okay. You know, you can get value in them, and I can see why people really enjoy Peni Parker. It's just a really annoying character. Next up, Starlord. I'm gonna say it outright. Starlord is one of the simplest DPS characters. It's literally Tracer. His left click is literally tracer guns. You just shoot people Like, if you have good aim, you could one-tap people. His shift is literally just a dash. And I think... oh, it's actually... The shift is his flying. I keep getting confused because for Tracer, it's the dash, right? So you can fly away on your shift. And your E... your right click, actually, is your dash, right? So you reload by using your right click. And you dodge damage. I think you cannot be... they can't do damage to you. And then after you use your right click, you can press E. And after you press E, you just do a lot of damage, like a mini Reaper route, right? So that's really good. And his right click is just a dodge, as I said. So you can shoot, right click, shoot, right click, shoot, press E. It's kind of good. And his ult is by far one of the broken ults in the game. You go flank, you fly behind them, it gives you aimbot. And look at this damage. Like, Starlord is super insane. His ult is absolutely ridiculous. You cannot counter it. You can't do anything. You have to use your Trank. Luna Snow needs to use the thing. And he does all insane amounts of damage. You will get kills on the backline. It's really good. So I think Starlord is S tier DPS. I think Starlord is meta, Hela is meta, Punisher is meta. I don't know what comps are in the meta, but I think these characters are the best DPS. He's simple, yet really effective. Last, we have Namor. He actually came before Aquaman. So his left click is just you throw tridents around. You can headshot with it. And you reduce the cooldown of your aquatic dominion, which is a little turret guy. Which is cool, I guess, but the turrets don't really do much damage. They're just annoying. This guy isn't very good. The issue with him is he doesn't do as much damage as Hela. His abilities are mostly useless. His little squids don't do much damage. And his right click is just you throw another spear. So all your chunguses actually do damage to that guy and do more damage to them whenever you hit it on that person. So that's cool. But it's not enough. Because in an actual team, V-team environment, you will hit it on an enemy and the enemy will, you know, just be a tank most likely or just get healed through it. And then his shift is you become immune and you fly up and then you can't use anything, but you're just sitting there. You can get healed. It's kind of like Ice Block. You cannot get damaged, you can get healed, and that's about it, right? So it's not really that good because if you're running away and you use it, once you drop, you die. Or once you drop, for some reason, you fly up in the air. So it makes it really easy for you to get killed once you end it. So that kind of sucks, right? And his ult is literally just a big shark. It can insta-kill, but it's super easy to dodge. You can also shield it. You can also bubble it. And you need to be in the center to die instantly. Right, so it can be good if you hit it, but it's just worse than Storm, for example. Storm does this like insta-kills as well, or one that also insta-kills, right? You also boop people and you stun them a bit. So I think this character needs buffs. I think it's one of the worst DPS in the game. I think it's probably F tier, D tier. I haven't seen this character played much. There isn't much point in playing him. And his C, when he has the Ice Lady, is you can summon another Chungus. And you have 3 Chunguses shooting. But they don't do much damage and they die instantly. So I don't think you should play this character. But play them if you have fun. I just don't think you're gonna win much. Other characters are just way better. Like Starlord. Compare Starlord ult to this guy's ult. This guy's ult is super easy to dodge. Starlord just insta-kills the backline. So if I have to summarize it, I think the best DPS are Punisher, Hela, and Starlord. I think the best tank is Doctor Strange. And after that, you have Groot and Magneto. And supports, I think you have to have Luna Snow, and I think Loki or Rocket Raccoon. And yeah, this is it. I've just went through all the characters in this game and I described them from my experience. I've been playing this game non-stop for the last few days. And I'm pretty high up in the leaderboard. Somebody came in to trash talk me to say that, you know, why am I showing off my rank when it's in early access? And it's true, but it's kind of competitive right now because it's full of pro players. As you can see, it's mostly just Overwatch players. Hulk, Space, Hydration, Mix, Colluge, Tap. It's literally just Overwatch players. It's like playing Overwatch ranked, right? So I've been grinding a lot. I got to Diamond. The queue times are really long, so I know if I'm going to keep going. But yeah, so it's kind of competitive right now. Exactly because there aren't many people. And I think the game is okay, and I think it was really fun. I hope there will be an open beta, but these are my opinions about the characters, and I hope you enjoy the game. I'm not under any contract right now, so stop typing in my Twitch chat. Thank you. Or in my YouTube chat. Appreciate it. All right, guys. This is going to be the end.